Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're a diehard 49ers fan, you know that every season always brings surprises, twists, and moments that make your heart race. And this season, just a few weeks into the new NFL year, we're already seeing some interesting developments that could have long-term implications for the team's strategy and success. You see, the 49ers are no strangers to innovation and thinking outside the box, especially when it comes to special teams. But what's happening right now is a bit unusual even for them. Recently, on September 12th, insider Matt Maiocco reported that the 49ers held a tryout with punter Matthew Hatball, a move that's got a lot of fans talking. Now, at first glance, you might think, well, they're just bringing in a punter, no big deal, right? But here's the kicker. This tryout isn't about replacing their current punter, Thomas Morstead. No, the real reason is much more strategic and tailored to a specific game plan, and it revolves around one of their young, promising wide receivers, Skyy Moore. You see, the upcoming game against the New Orleans Saints on September 14th is shaping up to be a pivotal matchup. And as many fans already know, the Saints have a very particular style of punting. Their punter, Kai Kroger, is a left-footed specialist, and that's always a challenge for returners. Skyy Moore, who's been showing flashes of brilliance with his speed and agility, has had some issues with drops and fumbles, especially on punts. His rookie season with the Kansas City Chiefs didn't exactly go smoothly, especially after he lost 3 fumbles early on, which led to him being benched as their punt returner. But the 49ers saw potential in Moore, and they're determined to give him every chance to succeed, especially with a game on the horizon that could test his fielding skills to the max. So, why bring in a punter like Matthew Hatball? Well, it's pretty clever, actually. Hatball, who was the Saints' starting punter last season and spent all of the 2025 preseason with New Orleans, was cut by the Saints on August 6th. This means the 49ers are capitalizing on that timing, bringing him in now, just days before the game, to give Skyy Moore some real-life experience fielding punts from a left-footed kicker. It's a smart move, and it's all about preparation. When you're facing a team like the Saints, with Kroger's unique punting style, you want your players to be as ready as possible. Moore's speed and return ability make him a weapon, but his fumbling issues have held him back from being fully trusted. This extra practice with Hatball could be just what he needs to gain confidence and improve his ball security under pressure. Now, it's not just about Moore. This move also gives the 49ers a little inside scoop on the Saints' special teams unit. Hatball, having recently been part of the Saints roster, knows their tendencies, coaching strategies, and what kind of punting style Kroger brings to the table. That kind of intel can be invaluable during game day, especially in a matchup where field position and special teams play a crucial role. It's a strategic move that shows how meticulous the 49ers are, constantly looking for advantages, even in the smallest details. But what about Thomas Morstead? Well, here's where it gets even more interesting. Morstead, who was brought in to be the team's starting punter, has been a steady presence since his arrival. Despite some questions about his health, there's no official word indicating he's injured or that the team is dissatisfied with him. Yet, the 49ers have been making some unusual moves around him. For instance, they recently had their long snapper, John Weeks, practicing snapping directly to their new kicker, Eddie Pinheiro, just in case Morstead isn't available in an emergency situation. This kind of prep work, especially so early in the season, suggests that the team is covering all bases, ensuring they're ready for anything in game day scenarios. And let's not forget that the entire special teams unit has seen quite a bit of turnover this season. Moving away from Mitch Wishnowsky and Pat O'Donnell, then signing Morstead, only to seemingly keep him around briefly before making roster adjustments. This all points to a team that's trying to optimize every aspect of their game. It's a delicate balancing act, especially when you consider how important field position and special teams are in close games. The 49ers are clearly trying to maximize their efficiency and minimize mistakes, knowing that even a small fumble or a bad punt can turn the tide of a game. Now, speaking of Sky Moore, it's worth noting that he's a player with a lot of potential. His 2022 NFL Combine 40-yard dash time of 4:40 seconds showcased his explosive speed, making him a real threat as a returner. His debut with the 49ers in their game against the Seattle Seahawks was promising. He returned 5 kicks for 63 yards, a solid effort. But the recurring fumbling issues have made the coaching staff cautious. Every fumble, every muffed punt, brings doubts, and that's why these extra practices with Hatball are so crucial now. They're trying to eliminate those mental errors and give Moore the confidence to be a reliable weapon on special teams. And let's put this into context. The 49ers are dealing with a lot of injuries on offense this season. Players like Trent Williams and others have been battling through setbacks, which makes the importance of mistake-free football even greater. They need their special teams to step up, to give them good field position, to flip the momentum when needed. That's why these behind-the-scenes moves, like bringing in Hatball and practicing long snapping with Weeks and Pinheiro, are so strategic. Every detail counts, especially when you're trying to beat a division rival like the Saints, who are no pushovers. Now, it's interesting to remember that Hatball's story with the Saints isn't just about a tryout. He was actually the team's starting punter last season, and he spent all of the 2025 preseason with New Orleans. His abrupt release in August was a surprise to many, but it's also a unique opportunity for the 49ers to gain some insight into the Saints' special teams. Maybe they're hoping that by bringing Hatball in now, they can gather some intel that could be useful in game plan adjustments. It's a play that's part strategy, part insurance, and part opportunity. This season has been full of surprises and unconventional moves for the 49ers, especially on special teams. Remember how last season, they had to go through a lot of roster shuffling, moving from Mitch Wishnowsky to Pat O'Donnell, then bringing in Morstead, only to see some of those moves reversed or adjusted. It's a testament to how meticulous and detail-oriented this team is. They're always looking for that extra edge, that little something that can make the difference in tight contests. And right now, with so many injury concerns and the pressure of trying to defend their NFC West crown, every move counts. Of course, all this effort isn't just about punting and field position. It's about confidence, about giving players like Sky Moore the mental edge to perform under pressure. When you've had issues with drops or fumbles, the mental game is just as important as the physical skill. The 49ers coaching staff clearly recognizes that, and they're doing everything possible to prepare their young receiver for the challenge ahead. Whether it's extra practice, strategic lineup adjustments, or just giving him more opportunities in practice, it's all about that next step in his development. And then, there's the bigger picture. The NFC West is incredibly competitive this year. The Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals are all nipping at the 49ers' heels, and every game is vital. The 49ers have built a reputation as one of the most disciplined, well-coached teams in the league, but they know that small margins matter. A single mistake, especially in the kicking game or on a punt return, can swing the entire division standings. That's why these seemingly small moves, like bringing in Hatball or practicing long snapping, are part of a larger, strategic effort to ensure they stay ahead in this race. Looking ahead, fans are naturally curious about how all these behind-the-scenes decisions will pay off on game day. Will Sky Moore finally find his groove as a returner? Can Thomas Morstead stay healthy and consistent, providing the solid punting that the team needs? And will the extra intel gained from Hatball's familiarity with the Saints' special teams give San Francisco an edge? Anticipation is building, and every 49ers fan is eager to see how these strategic moves translate into results on the field. It's also worth noting that the NFL is a league of small margins, and the team's ability to adapt and innovate can often be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. The 49ers have been known for their strong defense, creative offensive schemes, and disciplined approach, but their special teams have also been a critical part of their success. This season, they're clearly pushing the envelope, trying new things, and making sure they're as prepared as possible for every scenario. They understand that in the NFL, sometimes it's the little things, like who's snapping the ball or how a young receiver handles a tricky punt, that can define a season. And let's not forget the broader context. The 49ers are still aiming for that sixth Super Bowl title, a feat that would cement their legacy as one of the greatest franchises in NFL history. Every move, every practice, every strategic decision is all part of that bigger picture. They're building a team that's not just talented, but also smart, resilient, and adaptable. The fact that they're willing to experiment with different punters and special teams setups shows that they're committed to leaving no stone unturned. They're always looking for ways to improve, to get that little extra edge that could make all the difference in crunch time. So, as we look ahead to the game against the Saints, it's clear that the 49ers are not leaving anything to chance. They're doing their homework, prepping their players in every conceivable way, and trying to get the most out of each individual on their roster. Whether it's Sky Moore's return game, Thomas Morstead's punting, or the new strategies involving long snapping and special teams intel, all of these pieces are coming together to form a team that's determined to keep their championship window open. And fans, you can bet that the passion, preparation, and innovation will be on full display when the players hit the field. Now, as the season progresses, it'll be fascinating to see how these early season moves influence their overall performance. Will Moore's confidence grow? Will Morstead maintain his consistency? And how much of an advantage will the 49ers gain from Hatball's inside knowledge? These are the questions that keep fans on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting each game and each new development. It's a testament to how meticulous and detail-oriented this team is, always aiming for excellence and never settling for less. As we wrap up, I want to remind you all that this season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory for the 49ers. The combination of veteran leadership, young talent, strategic innovation, and a relentless drive to succeed makes this team a true contender. And every move, whether on offense, defense, or special teams, is part of a bigger plan to bring home that coveted Super Bowl trophy. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep supporting your 49ers, because they're giving it their all, and with these strategic moves, they're setting themselves up for a potentially historic season. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news.